Deep in the craggy folds of the Appalachian Mountains, where the trees grow gnarled and the wind howls like a mourner, there's a name no one dares speak above a whisper. Silas Marrow. He's no man anymore, not since the winter of 1847, but he's still out there, hunting the trails for anyone fool enough to cross his path. Silas was a trapper once, a gaunt figure with a beard like moss and eyes that glinted with a hunger no pelts could sate. He lived alone in a shack perched on a bluff near what's now called Marrow's Gap, a place so steep and shadowed the sun barely touches it. They say he went mad that winter when the snows buried the mountain and game vanished. Starving, he turned to darker meat, first his dogs, then the travelers who sought shelter from the storms. By spring, the thaw revealed a charnel house of bones, and the townsfolk strung him up from a black locust tree, his last words a curse spat into the wind. "I'll take what's mine." The rope snapped his neck, but it didn't end him. The first hunter to vanish was a boy, barely 16, who'd bragged about bagging a bear near the gap. They found his rifle 3 days later, stock splintered, barrel bent like a horseshoe. His tracks stopped cold at the edge of a ravine. No body, no blood, just a faint whiff of something sour, like spoiled meat. That's when the whispers started. Silas wasn't gone. He'd become something else, something the mountain itself couldn't bury. He hunts at night, when the moon hangs low and the owls fall silent. You'll know he's near when the air thickens, heavy with the stink of rot and wet fur. Then comes the sound, a slow, deliberate crunch of boots on gravel, steady as a heartbeat, even when the ground's soft with mud. Some say they've seen him, a tall, hunched shape in the mist, his coat patched with skins that twitch like they're still alive, his noose dangling loose around a neck that bends wrong. His eyes, they say, are hollow pits, but they see you, right down to the marrow in your bones. Silas don't kill quick. He plays with you first. A hiker named Clara Boone learned that the hard way in '89. She'd been camping near the gap, sketching the cliffs, when her journal entries turned strange. "Heard footsteps last night," she wrote. "Thought it was a bear, but they didn't stop, just circled the tent, slow and loud. The next day, something's watching. Smells like death." Her last entry, scrawled in a shaking hand, "He's here. God help me, he's here." They found her pack a week later, untouched, but Clara was gone. The dirt around her tent was clawed up, like something had dragged itself out of the earth. He takes what he wants, piece by piece. A logger from Tennessee swore he saw Silas peel the shadow off a man, literally pull it free like a pelt, leaving the fella staggering, pale and babbling, before he collapsed dead. Others say he'll chase you till your legs give out, his steps never faltering, his breath a wet rasp you feel on your neck, even when he's 50 yards back. The lucky ones die of fright before he closes in. The unlucky ones, he keeps them. Folks find strange things after he passes. A boot with a foot still in it. A hand clutching a knife, frozen stiff. Trophies, they reckon, for the hunt that never ends. The old-timers have rules if you're near Marrow's Gap. Don't carry fresh meat. It draws him like a hound. Don't sleep too deep. He'll slip into your dreams, whispering your name till you wake screaming. And if you hear those boots, run. But don't look back. Those who do say his face ain't human no more. Just a slack jaw and a grin that splits too wide. A preacher once tried to exorcise the gap, but he came down the mountain raving, clawing at his eyes. "He's the mountain now," he sobbed. "He's in the roots." Last year, a ranger went missing up there. His radio crackled to life at the station one night, long after they'd given up hope. Just static at first. Then a voice, low, guttural, not the ranger's. Mine. The signal cut out, and they ain't sent nobody back since. Silas Marrow's still hunting, patient as stone, waiting for the next soul to stumble into his gap. In the Appalachians, the trails are old, and some things don't let go.